think I'm all set up. I just put a 4-foot level. Where'd it go? Anyways, I put a 4-foot level on this. This is nice and level coming across there on my roller stands. I'll send it through onto these roller stands. And then I'm going to get two or three, probably 1 or 2 more helpers, 3 of us, to send this through, walk it back, send it through, flip it. Right now I'm just a little impatient. I want to see if it's going to work. I'll leave the camera running. I have a lot of play in there. I don't even know if the cutters are going to hit the wood. I just want to see how this is going to work sending it through. Well, it seemed like that worked. It just took ever so slightly off my highs, a couple points here, getting this down. Really didn't touch much in here yet. So it looks like I have plenty of rollers. 3 on this side. 4 over there. I don't think I need to buy more. That should work. Now I just need, I could hook it up to the crane and walk it. Oh, 1 more person here. We can easily carry this back, take it, send it through, 1/4 turn at a time. I think it's going to go real good. All right, we'll pick it up there tomorrow. Just making sure I mentioned this somewhere in the video. Whenever I glued these boards together, I put down parchment paper on top of my melamine. So it slid off of those easy, and now the paper just peels right off the bottom. The rest of this will come off in the planer. And just wanted to mention that I've done that before on bigger projects. It just makes it clean up from that glue really nice. Wax paper, parchment paper underneath your products, glue, clamp, and it'll peel right off the next day. Okay. See how easy it comes off in the planer? All right, we'll get cleaned up in here and we'll be ready to get this off. Downside here, I don't have a long enough vac tube to go all the way over here. I might get my shop vac duct taped to this, or just let it fly and we'll clean it up when we're done. That's what happens here. Everybody. All right. Oh, no. What about cleanup? No cleanup? Okay. So we sent it through about 4 times. Perfect. Perfect. To do it again, excuse me, a little bit dusty here. I think I would have cut these straight. It was hard getting those all compressed. Excuse me, a little bit of dust floating around here. Now I can very easily fill those in with epoxy, not a big deal. I just like the more glue surface putting them together, but I wasn't able to get them all perfectly tight. With my thread, all thread through, glued, clamped for about 4 or 5 days. That feels really good. You can see the 2 oak going down the middle. Now I'll go ahead and attach the oak boards to the sides, giving us our 22-inch wide playing surface. Okay, let's get this place cleaned up, and I'll get the same setup on the sander. That's an open-ended drum sander, so I can put it through there and that'll get this perfect. Okay, got it planed down to about where I want it. Now the rest I'll just do sanding. I went up and bought this track saw that Tommy bought last year. So you just lay the table right on the line. You can clamp it if you want to. There's a notch right here that rides along that track, keeps it perfectly straight. First time I ever used it. You can put a clamp right here if you're doing anything that you need to. You can see how that will just slide nice and even right on there. Right on my line. Perfect. Here we go. What's up, dude?
It's out of gas. Do you know where everything would be?
You can check.
We already checked all the bins down there.
I think we're on it. We haven't been working for a while, so I haven't gotten any. Might be it, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's this thing over here?
Hey, you know where the power buggies are?
Yeah.
On the trailer? Look in the power buggy. There might be a gas can in there.
There's one right there.
Any gas in it?
Yeah.
Let me see it. Is it a 5 gallon or a 2 gallon? That's 5. Okay, you can take that. Just leave $5 right by the door there, okay?
Alright. I don't have $5 on me. I had $2.22. I'll pay you next week.
You'll pay me next week.
Okay, you're helping me get rid of something. Come on, TJ.
Okay, there you go.
You're helping me.
So that gave me a real nice cut. Nice and square. Okay, one step closer. Okay, getting ready here. Now what I want to do, and I think I misspoke earlier. I said that this was 22 inches. Playing surface is actually 20 inches wide. Sorry, should have been more set up before I turned the camera on. So I'm going to wrap this in oak, sort of like a picture frame around it. Okay, just have a paper towel or a brush ready to go. And this is on the outer edge. It's going to take a lot of abuse, so use a good bit of glue. And do that whole surface. right on there. Get it nice and flush with the top, making my ends line up. Perfect. Got them nice and flush. Not going anywhere. All right, and repeat. Okay, that's going to be it for today. Nice and flush. Really nice playing surface now. But one more step, I'll take this, send it through the sander. We'll do that. This is Saturday, late afternoon, sorry. I'll probably let this sit all day tomorrow. I'll pick this up Monday after work. See you then. Oak, maple, and so on. I think that'll be a real nice pattern through there. Looks good. Okay, I'm all set up on my Powermatic sander. It's a mate to the planer. I bought a 24-inch open-ended, so if you have something bigger, you can send it in, spin it around, and cover it that way, like a countertop or something. So the nice thing about this is I can do this by myself. And is this what they were thinking? If they did, good idea, Powermatic. So once I send this through, the planer has wheels that goes forward and backward. The sander has wheels, it goes sideways. So now I can move that out of the way, just wheel the project straight back, and then send it through again. I have to get this, my hose isn't long enough for the shop vac, for the dust collector, so I just have to let it go. Normally I'm plumbed in and it's a little bit better. So there we go. I'll set you right here. Try and get it fairly straight. And away we go. This is a sander, so you just let it go through much slower. It's not a planer, it's a sander. You see it's feeding all by itself. Boy, is that nice. So one or two passes, well, a couple of passes with this, not one, a couple of passes. Boy, does that feel nice. Okay, for those of you who don't know, that's what I mean by an open-ended drum sander. You can see how the material could come out here for bigger pieces, bigger projects. It is coming out perfect all the way across. Now you can really see the oak I was talking about with the oak trim work around it. How's that for a corner? So this is it going into the machine. A couple imperfections. Nothing major. Here it is coming up. Perfect. So I hooked up shop vac to this. These fine particles really, you know, floating through the air. All right. I just have it going as slow as it'll go. Okay. So that's how I'm going to leave it for tonight. Let this dry real good. Tomorrow, one more sanding. Then I'm going to get set up here and put the plywood base on it. That comes out 5 inches. And that's the only plywood I'm going to use on this project. I didn't want to use up all my oak for the underside. You're never going to see that. I'm going to use plywood. And then I'll use my oak for my sides, a top rail. Then I have to make the legs. So I think the hard part's done. I'm getting excited about this. I'm going to, what could we do with this? The shuffleboard. But I also saw a set of those duck pins. So maybe we could do duck pin bowling. We'll have a little tournament this winter if I get it done in time. Maybe next winter. Okay, tomorrow also maintenance on the 3017. This is the machine I rolled over, I guess 2 years ago now. Still running good, but I really paid attention to the maintenance last year. Watched for water in the oil. Watch for, you know, smoke, excessive exhaust, that sort of thing. Just making sure that hopefully I didn't hurt the machine. All right, dinner time. See you guys tomorrow. Okay, just getting the sideboards together. Let me show you what I come up with. I think you'll like it. I forgot I even had this tool in the wood shop. So I need to, you know, go around the perimeter with the oak, and I wanted to attach it to the plywood where I know it's going to last. So I rabbeted this out, or rabbet. Now it'll fit right on there. Let me show you how I did that. Come on up in the wood shop. I've never used this tool before. I forgot I even had it. I was going to set up a router and router that groove out. This has been in my toolbox. A triple cutter molding headset. Knock the dust off it. So it gave me all these different bits. These have never been used. This thing is probably 40 years old. So I set it up in here. That's a 3/4 inch groove. Well, I should say tooling die. Here's my sample piece. I ran this through and it cut a groove right in there. Now I purposely did not film all this because I take a lot of heat for how I work in the wood shop. People say I'm a little bit dangerous. I'm always very careful. You guys work, everybody should work at their own skill level. Knock on wood, I still have all my fingers. I've never even come close. I'm just very careful, and I don't feel I'm dangerous. So this may look a little sketchy, Like I had to take my tray off because it won't fit through that. So I slid the fence over. I left 3/4 meat on the bottom. So nothing. See how it cuts a real nice slot, nice and clean. And it'll accept the plywood right in there. So I can get a couple screws and some glue on that, and as the pucks hit it, I don't feel that's ever going to come off. So I hope you are with me. I was very safe and used that as safely as I could. All right, let's get these on and get this perimeter wrapped. Once I put these sides on, now I'll just put a nice top rail on there. Hey, here's the question. Do you make it big enough where you can set your drink? Or is that going to spill on the table? If you make it skinnier, now people won't set drinks there. I think I might be leaning towards that. This is going in Tommy and Sarah's basement. I'll let them make the call. Okay, whenever you put this notch in there, it does make it harder. You can't measure from point to point. So cut yourself a little sample. Make sure you're seated on all the way. Draw a line. And draw a line all the way around the perimeter. Now you know where your new corner is. Here's your intersect point here and here. So cut your corners. Uh, 2 3/4. Let's see how that fits. See how we did. 2 3/4. Wiggle it on here without knocking this off. I think that's going to be nice. Okay. All right, I'm not going to bore you with all of this. I'll go along and put my marks in and get this wrapped, and I'll show you when I'm done. And this contraption, seat clamps and squeeze clamps. Pull that in. I can squeeze this. Okay. There's just a bump too far. What if I get this one more time? Let's back that off just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Pretty good. Sprung out. About a squeeze clamp right here. I don't want to keep pulling this in. This is really nice, really nice. Let's get one right here. Okay, this is my first corner end all glued together. It would have been so much easier to make these square, but I thought this would look nice, as well as in the basement when kids are running around, you don't have that corner sticking out. So, main reason is I thought it would look cool. But what a challenge getting these things on the notch, all the way in tight, plumb and tight. So you can see lots of glue in there, a couple of nails, but not too many nails here. I didn't want to harm the face of that. And this is my clamp method I came up with, and it worked good, but oh my gosh. So I used my big bar clamp at the bottom up here, same number, what was it, 29 3/4 bottom, 29 3/4 top, 29 3/4 bottom, 29 3/4 bottom and top. And then I did a cross clamp pulling this together. The C clamps are so that these don't slide. They're just holding that in place. I think we can all agree that looks pretty nice. Same over there. A pair of vice grips on this bar clamp so the C clamp doesn't slide. I was trying to pull this in just a little bit tighter. I'll hit this with a belt sander. That all goes away. Okay. So I did that last night. This early this morning, I'll let this dry. Now I just cut my filler boards here. I'm going to put a nice big cleat across the bottom for my plywood. And then I'm going to make my top rail. I think I'll just do like a bull-nosed, maybe 1.5 inch curve. Just something comfortable to lean against, but nothing too big. Okay, moving right along. Still undecided about the legs. I got to come up with something there. What is that? 15 feet long. Definitely need a center leg. Do I want to do like 4 legs? Almost like I'm here, you know, set up a couple of sawhorse looking legs, and you can just position them. You know, we'll come up with something like, hopefully it looks kind of cool. I'll show you how I cut my notch in. This dado blade right there, I have it set about 1/4 inch away from my fence. That'll leave the meat at the bottom. Here's a sample I did yesterday, and I showed you the sample, but I'll show you how I do a full piece. As careful as I can. That. I got to run this through the sander a little bit after I cut it to my height. I need to put the cut in this board, and then I'm done with the dado blade. One side all done. Real nice fit. Now I'll put my cap on here. Other side, not so good. I didn't pay attention to how thick this board was in relation to the other boards. You can see I'm quite a bit skinnier, so we can't have that. Let's head down to the lumber mill. I brought this one up. Let's go see what else we have. I have these, but this is a different project. I'll talk about that later on. It is about 6 degrees Fahrenheit outside. Whew. So I'll get that lumber inside. Donna and I and some friends are going to go away for 4 days. We're going to head up to Stowe, Vermont, and do some snowboarding and some dog sledding. I've never done that. So I'll get this lumber in there. It'll set for about 5 or 6 days till I get back, and then we'll do a moisture test on it and most likely keep pushing forward. This lumber was all cut at the same time, so it's the same age as the stuff I'm working with, but it's just has been outside underneath here. Dry, just cold, that's all. This is maintenance. All this has already been maintenance. I have to do all the excavators yet. So I dug these out. I'm going to take these up, and then I thought these would be nice for my rails. I'll rip these down to about, I don't know, I think I like 2.5 inches. Give that a nice bull nose. So I'll dig those out. Of course they're on the bottom, but they're nice and long. Maybe I can do it. They're poking out right here. Maybe I can do them in one board. I need about 15 feet, and you can see I'll have it. So I'll get those inside. See you in a minute.